this morning.
We were supposed to be
is
talking
Bob
about
Corker.
that in B-Block because what a huge story this Bob Corker story is.
The chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee unloaded on President Trump in a no-holds-bar interview on Sunday night. Republican Senator Bob Corker of Tennessee telling the New York Times that the president's reckless threats could set the nation, quote, on the path to World War III. A member of the senator's staff confirmed his comments to NBC News. Corker said he was alarmed about a president who acts, quote, like he's doing The Apprentice or something. And, quote, I know for a fact that every single day at the White House, it's a situation of trying to contain him. Corker referenced tweets that Trump made on Twitter about Secretary of State Rex Tillerson's diplomatic efforts with North Korea, in which the president undercut Tillerson, telling him, save your energy, Rex. Corker said a lot of people think that there is some kind of good cop, bad cop act underway, but that's just not true. I know he has hurt. In several instances, he's hurt us as it relates to negotiations that were underway by tweeting things out. Look, except for a few people, the vast majority of our caucus understands what we're dealing with here, he said, adding that, of course, they understand the volatility that we're dealing with and the tremendous amount of work that it takes by people around him to keep him in the middle of the road. According to the Times, Corker would not directly answer when asked whether he thought Trump was fit for the presidency, but he did say Trump was not fully aware of the power of his office. Quote, I don't think he appreciates that when the president of the United States speaks and says the things that he does, the impact that it has around the world, especially in the region that he's addressing, he said. And so, yeah, it's concerning to me.
David Ignatius, there actually is a parallel here with the Weinstein story. Powerful people in Washington won't speak up about something that they're all talking about
and they
off
know what's
the record.
happening.
And they all knew that was happening, but they wouldn't speak out about it. These Republicans, as Bob Corker said, and by the way, Corker was talking about this before, asking whether he was fit for office, making that suggestion long before he decided not to run for office, even after Donald Trump begged him to run for re-election and said he'd support him. But there's a parallel here. Republicans know what's going on in this White House. They know this president is not fit for office. They have known it for a very long time. And as Bob Corker said, all except for a handful are very, very concerned about this president being in the middle of a nuclear showdown and not understanding the stakes.
Joe, I think you said it exactly right. This is one of those rare moments that we always talk about, celebrate, but happen too infrequently, where somebody speaks truth to power. Bob Corker has said flat out the things that people whisper about, worry about, the sort of inner concerns of Washington that go to the president, the way he operates. These lines, adult daycare center, could have been written by the great tweeter himself. They have an edge, they're funny. But he's really getting at the question of the underlying stability of conduct of policy in Washington under this president.
And David, when he talks about adult daycare center and then talks about somebody obviously wasn't making their rounds, there is a suggestion there. That it seems that's not just a joke. This is a suggestion that this man may not be fit for office. At least that's how I read it.
I think until he comes forward, or someone does, right, with additional details, you have to be careful in parsing just what that means. What I did over the weekend, Joe and Mika, was to ask people at the Pentagon how much of this bluster we've been seeing since last Friday, the calm before the storm, the sort of whoa that the president's been doing, how much of that is real? And I was told, I don't think this will surprise anyone, that in terms of actual movements of military assets, of anything communicated to our allies, anything specific, my contacts said we're not aware of anything. They said that when they're asked by foreign ministries of defense, what's going on? What's this about? They basically reply, this is messaging. This is, you understand this, President. So we have this weird situation in which we have the red hot comments from the president, but so far as I can tell, underneath, not yet plans for any specific military action.
Yeah, well, the fighting between President.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.